Hi, sophomore honors. How are you? Um, Gosh, times have sure changed. Craziness. I hope you're doing okay, sincerely, and that you're making some of these major adjustments. Um, okay, so this is kind of your weekly assignment. Remember, I kind of give you a whole week's worth of work. So it might seem like a lot, or maybe it won't if you're keeping up. Before I dive into that, I'm looking at my notes here. Um, Patients, positive, new routines, and family. So just something that I've been thinking a lot about is how much um, I need to be patient um, in kind of this new reality that we're living in with my family, with my students, and also just looking for opportunities to be positive to other people, encouraging other people. I think that now is a time that we all can um, be a positive influence on people around us. And just recognizing that we're all kind of dealing with new routines and adjusting to that. And that's one reason we need to be patient with other people and ourselves. And having good times at my house with my family with board games and playing on the Wii and hanging out. And so hopefully you're tapping into some of that. I know you're spending more time with your family, but I hope you're all doing well. Um, just a reminder that we do have our live meetings on Wednesday. This is the one time of the week where we have a live meeting at 8 a.m. So please show up. I'm going to ask that at this meeting that you come prepared, ready to share your thoughts on the writing form questions, which I'm going to get to in a bit, so you'll kind of know ahead of time how you might share. Um, okay, and of course I'll answer any questions you might have. And I hope the methods of communication that I'm offering are helpful. It was kind of quiet from this class this past week, but do reach out if you have any questions, um, whether that be on Skype or using the general forum on Teams or the live meeting or even email is fine. Um, I have to, it goes without saying, but I'll just stop here and emphasize that it is really essential that you meet deadlines. Um, I think online teaching works for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone. I think if you're kind of self-disciplined and self-motivated, um, it works for that type of student. But please know that that's your one job. You must understand what the assignment is and know what the deadline is and meet the deadline. So um, my job is to communicate that clearly, but I don't want to get into like a back and forth email where you're like begging me to extend a deadline. I feel like my job becomes impossible if I start moving deadlines. So please think about the deadlines and meet those. Um, and I think these videos that I'm putting together, that's a good place to start on Monday. Watch these from start to finish. I try to tap into everything in these videos. And of course, read the weekly agenda from me to you and you to me. I try to kind of break it down in a clear way. I am working on grading papers. I've gotten a little bit behind, but I am kind of doing this dual role now of homeschooling my kids and doing the online classes and grading papers. So you should start to see areas being populated with grades probably later on this week. Okay, we do have a full week ahead. This past week was kind of shortened. I kind of considered it a grace period, Wednesday to Sunday night. Um, okay, I'll just dive in. Number one, I am going to give you a quiz on book one. So it's pretty broad, I know. It'll probably be like maybe anywhere between 10 and 20 questions. and I would like you to do this by Tuesday night, and I'm going to do it through Socrative. I haven't created it yet, but I know that the link to Socrative is right here. I think we just started using this in class before we recently we started using it in class before we went to online. You'll probably be asked for these two things. So just take note. When you click on the link, it might ask you for the room number. The room is Paquette 1 running together. It looks like this here. And then your password is your last name. I think there's a couple people in the class that have like two people that have the same last name. I need to email those people to give them a special password, but generally your password is your last name. That should get you in. Please do the quiz by Tuesday night. And we're going to do a flip grid. I've been reading about this. It doesn't look very complicated. I am going to I haven't put it yet, but I'm probably going to put the link to Socrative here underneath syllabus in the learning portal. And the flip code I know is Paquette B210 right here. So I think that's all you need. You just need to be able to get to the site, know what the flip code is. I will explain what to do on the learning portal for the directions. So I haven't decided yet, but hopefully it won't be too difficult. Of course, you can use your tablet, but you are going to be recording yourself. I do think about privacy concerns, so the people that are involved in this is just our class, so it's not a public. There's no public access. So. All right. Get that done by Thursday night. Number 3, writing forum on Teams. So there's a couple deadlines for this. First deadline is Wednesday, and the second is Saturday night. So, all right, I'm opening up Teams. You'll see there's these different channels. The last one here, question and answer class forum. This one is just general, a place for you to ask questions. I haven't gotten a single question yet here. But the questions that I want you to answer this week related to hard times, book 2, chapters 1 through 9 are right here. So HT, just click on this title here. All right, so there's 3 that I want you to answer. The first one's a little bit more involved. I want you to find a quote that you would write out the quote. It could be a quote from any of those chapters 1 through 9 in book 2, but I wanted to really focus on one of these characters: Stephen Blackpool, Rachel, the Whelp, James Harthouse, or Mrs. Sparsit. So the directions are here. Your initial response should be posted by Wednesday night. So that's so people can have a couple days to look at your response. So after you're done with that first response, you should come back Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, look at what other people have posted, and then respond to what you're seeing some of your classmates write. So that one's kind of a two-parter. Here, it's not a two-parter. Just get this done, I'll say, by Saturday night. What is Dickens saying about class struggle in these chapters? And then lastly, what role does Sissy play in these chapters? She's a really interesting character. All right, I like this because you can write your response, and it's more social. Everyone sees what you post. In this first one, I do write 8 to 11 sentences in length, so pay attention to that. All right, a lot of reading this week. I would like you to read and annotate chapters 1 through 9 in book 2 and finish that by Sunday. So hopefully you've already got a jump start on that, because a lot of the work that I'm questioning you on pertains to these chapters. All right, and just a couple comments related to um, the live meeting. So I found this is some suggestions that I came upon. Chat during meetings. By clicking on the chat icon, which is this, in a meeting or a live class session, you and your students can interact, ask questions, etc. during the meeting. This is very helpful to use for students to raise their hand, and then you can address their questions as time allows. So let's use that chat icon. You can alert me if you have a question by raising your virtual hand. And then lastly here, ask the students to mute themselves by clicking the microphone icon. That way we're not like talking over each other, and there's not it's not like 30 different microphones recording sound during our meeting. They should only come off mute if and when they have a question or need to participate in the conversation. Okay, that's it. Make time for fun this week. Be healthy. Take care of yourself. Let me know if you have any questions. All right.